Hello everyone, my name is Ben and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I have some very exciting content planned with my new Z4 Coupe project car, kind of budget builds if you like, and videos today like comparing my M3 to this rather nice C63. So welcome another Ben to the channel, welcome. So this is your murdered out C63, yep. It's looking very nice with all the black bits and the kind of grey calipers. How long have you had the car?
So I've had the car about a month now. It's my second C63 actually. I had a red one before and it had a I think it's a cam adjuster issue and some other bits went wrong with it, but that car is now gone. It was bought back off me by Mercedes, so this is the new replacement.
Nice, and it looks very, very good. I've never actually been in a C63 before, so I'm actually quite excited to compare the two. But before we head on out for a drive, I think we should do a kind of top trump styled little comparison between the two cars.
Yeah,
and
well,
yeah, sounds good, doesn't it?
Let's do it.
Okay then, so little top trump style round. Let's kick start things off with the engine capacity. So this is a 4 litre. And yours is a 6.2, even though it says 6.3 on the side. Yeah,
the 6.3 is from, I think it's some sort of Mercedes race team that used to use a 6.3.
Ah, okay, so they're lying.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start off with brake horsepower and torque. So this car from factory runs 415 brake horsepower with 400 Newton meters of torque. Smash me.
So from Parker's website, yep. I'm running 450 brake horsepower and 600 Newton meters of torque.
You got a good 200 Newton meters on top of me, which is what this car lacks. It lacks the low end torque, but it's a lot better after the Malibu Performance tune. So yeah, they're actually quite closely matched. I didn't realise, I thought these were like 500, but no, I imagine you can get them up to that.
The 507s and a couple of special edition ones are 500 plus, yeah.
And it doesn't actually say it on here, but I am pretty sure my 0 to 60 is like 4.5, between 4.5 and 4.8.
Mine's 4.3, if you can get
okay.
it.
And hello mate.
Hello.
Best video ever. I want to do weight as well, because I do have a weight problem, and so does the M3. I believe this car is around 16 to 1700 kilos.
Yeah, I'm 1700, around that weight is what it's saying.
So we are actually quite neck and neck, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, they're close together.
Yeah, so it's quite a good comparison, really, giving you guys a little bit of useful consumer advice as to which one you should buy. I think it just depends on your preference, really. But anyway, let's get out in the cars and see how they compare out on the road. Inside the C63 AMG then for the first time, and yeah, it does not pick up, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
And it's so weird because it's so similar in many ways to my M3 in the kind of, it's a saloon car, a bit of a GT cruiser, so comfortable in here. Yet you've just got a different tone from that exhaust.
Yeah.
It sounds mental, right? Yeah. It sounds just dirty, whereas mine's just so much high pitched.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, literally. So you've had the car for a month, and it's completely stock, right?
Completely stock, nothing done to it.
Not any plans or anything, or you're just going to leave it alone?
No, leave it how it is. I think they did a good job with it, so.
Good. The way I would kind of compare the power delivery to this is this feels like a sledgehammer to the back of the head, whereas I feel mine is more progressive.
Progressive, yeah.
Yeah, all my kind of power is in the higher RPMs.
Yeah. Where
this just seems to kind of get up and go.
Yeah, so around 4,000 RPM you really get into the power, but it'll pick up from the get-go. Because of course there's no turbos, it's naturally aspirated 6.3 litre V8, so just goes.
And we said at the beginning of the video you have an extra 200 Newton meters of torque on top of my car. I feel you can feel that, definitely, 100%. I can't quite remember what my torque figure was when it was mapped, but I know it was definitely increased, and I can feel it, but this is just, it's just instant.
Yeah, it's the noise, the kind of everything about it, it's just, it's amazing, I love it.
It's such a good car. Can't believe I've never been in one.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you've never been in one, to be fair.
So what rough MPG do you usually get?
So, usually... a bit late on that.
Nice. You stopped at a green light. Yeah. Are you okay?
So, usually get about 17 to 20 maximum, but if you're really kind of driving joyfully, then you go all the way down to like 13, 14.
That is literally identical to mine.
Yeah.
That's mental. What about on like a motorway run? Do you pay much attention or?
I drove back to the dealership in Sheffield to get some stuff looked at, and I got 25 miles per gallon on the motorway.
Ah,
25 miles per gallon, yeah.
If we're going back to top trumps, I can do you over there, because on the way to Germany, I was averaging about 28 to 30 mpg, and I think because of all that motorway driving, I did manage to get around 310 miles to a tank, which was like a first for everything.
No,
really.
I couldn't get anywhere near that. I mean, I'll have a look now at what we're 203 miles on the dash
Got like,
recorded.
what, 3/4 of a tank?
Yeah, it's nearly full.
Oh man, I put 30 quid of fuel in before this film shoot today, and it warned me on the way here. It was like 50 miles or something.
Yeah, so we're averaging 14.9 miles per gallon here.
Nice.
So nice healthy fuel consumption.
Oh, nice little crack from the exhaust. That's really nice.
Yeah, when you get quite high in the revs and you shift, it'll like crack as you shift.
My crackle map will randomly, I'll be on the Nürburgring or on the motorway in Germany at like 120, will let off and it will just completely spontaneous go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, I've been behind you leaving cafe in a machine, and
yeah,
it's like nothing. You get to a roundabout, you downshift and it's just bang, 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 bang.
It will do it when you least expect it. It's mad. I wanted to do it all the time, but unfortunately it's not an i30N.
But
right then, cars out the way. Ooh. Oh. Oh, it's got some grunt, hasn't it?
oh,
It sounds fantastic, and of course you've got the flappy paddled auto, whereas
yeah,
mine's a
you're
manual.
yeah.
So you get the nice little DSG kind of farts on the upshift. It sounds brilliant.
Yeah, what do you think then of the
You know what?
C63?
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a nice place to be. I didn't know they were quite similar on paper.
Yeah.
Our two cars. You've got more power and a lot more torque, which you can just feel so much more instant. It's instant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
as soon as you put your foot down, it's like
Yeah.
it starts going up the revs.
if people watching are in the market for either an M3 or a C63, you've got to know that the M3 does lack low-end torque, and all the drama kind of happens over 4,000 or 5,000 RPM. This, obviously, because it's got 200 more Newton meters of torque, it's just instant, and it's just a different animal, really. It's just a beast.
What surprised me is with the sound as with the two cars, as you were saying. How
one's more high pitched.
Yours is high pitched, and this will grumble away. And
Yeah. Right, so talk us through what you're going to do for the launch control.
You put it in, you take traction control off, put that in sport.
Nice.
You go around to RS, paddle up to select, and then that's it.
Foot on the brake. That's ridiculous. I'll tell you what though, it managed to put the power down well.
Yeah.
I was expecting a bit more drama than
A little
that.
bit of slip, that goes back on.
Yep.
Yeah, back on.
Back to safety.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Yeah, that weren't half bad.
No.
Right then, so this has been quite a great experience really for my first time in a C63. To compare the cars, and have you ever been in an M3?
I've never been in an M3.
Oh,
no.
perfect.
So this will be my first time as well.
Oh, amazing. First time for everything for both of us. So I think we'll go jump in my car now and just see how it compares to this one. Should we do a cool transition, yeah?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right, M3 in 3, 2, 1. And there we are, inside the M3.
I lost my steering wheel.
That was so cheesy, wasn't it? Yeah, so welcome to the M3. First thoughts. Obviously this one's a manual as well.
Really, well, kind of, they're similar sort of age, and
yeah.
so like a lot of the stuff is like really similar.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't got one of those.
No, that's a gear stick.
Yep, I haven't got one of those.
Do you know how to use one of those?
Yeah, I know how to use one.
Now I'll just drop that a little bit. Push the end button as well, why not? 4,000 RPM.
It's that shift that just throws you back into the seat.
Yeah.
Headbutted the seat.
Now even from the driver's seat, I feel a little bit slow.
No, it's...
I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. Right, you ready?
Yeah. Head back. That is amazing.
It doesn't get the power down like your C63 does.
It just span.
It just span its wheels. I don't know if the camera could see how hard I was working to keep it in a straight line.
Yeah, we
but
was like left, right.
it was snaking all over the place. That was brilliant.
It's in mine the shift is so kind of crisp and quick.
Yeah.
With it, I do miss
having a good old fashioned
going first
manual.
to second and it just putting you back in your seat.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing you miss with the C63 over the M3 is that brutal shift you get.
This as well, by the way, because we are in M mode, my EDC is in the most bumpy setting. Compared to yours,
I'd say
well, to be fair, this road's quite smooth,
yeah,
but
so
on most B roads it's pretty much unusable.
Yeah.
So then we got like comfort, and then one click is sport, but I've got it on the hardest one.
Obviously we're on quite a...
Yeah, it's still quite a compliant car like yours. It is just very comfortable when it's in normal mode.
Yeah.
It's just normal, to be fair. And as on the dash you can see I'm getting like 15.8 mpg.
But in terms of like the seats and the kind of setup, it is
they are two very similar cars.
Yeah.
So they're both German saloon cars with whopping V8s at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So they are quite similar, but I definitely didn't expect them to be as close as they were.
No, what year is this?
This is like an 08.
08, mine's a 14. So
okay.
even in that sort of gap,
yeah.
it's still really similar. You did it as well. It's that the exhaust is insane on this.
It's a very different tone to yours. And from the inside it does do a good job at deadening out the sound.
That's
definitely.
Yeah.
If you followed this car before and said how loud it is.
Yeah, I'm sat in my car with windows up and music on, and all I can hear is like you downshifting.
It's just a very different sound, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like as you were saying, how high pitched, well, the higher pitch it is compared to the drone, well, not drone, the deeper brumble of the 63. Jesus.
It's my own car and it's making me act like this. It's mental.
That's the thing with.
Let's give Connor behind some good sounds.
Both amazing cars though.
Oh yeah.
We both agree, both amazing cars.
And I actually think we should pull on over and kind of summarise both of our experience and try and give the viewers some kind of insight as to which one they should potentially buy if they're in the market for one.
Definitely, yeah.
Right then, so we have pulled over to summarise our experiences after being out in both of the cars. As you were the last one out in my M3, what were your overall thoughts as an AMG owner to the M3?
Wow, yeah, what an amazing car. Pretty brutal, puts you back in your seat. It's sort of, yeah, it's just so brutal. Obviously, having the automatic in the C63, the shifts are really kind of crisp and fast. And in the M3, it's like going from first to second, it just pins you in the seat, throws you around, it like back end squims out all the time.
No traction at all. Even
what
as like an owner,
car.
like this is my car and it's like, it's blown me away and now I don't want to sell it. So to round up my experience after, it was also my first time in a C63, you can definitely feel the added benefit of those extra 200 Newton meters of torque, because this car does lack it. So it just seems like a bit more of an instant shunt of power.
Yeah.
And also the tone and the crackles from the exhaust is just fantastic. They're just two different sounding beasts, but also quite similar.
Yeah.
Like with the rides, the interior, the power, the way they handle. It is actually quite close, which I didn't expect really. But yeah, it's been great, you know, going out in your car. Thank you very much for agreeing to come today and be on camera. So I suppose if you're in the market for either an M3 or a C63,
it's going to be a hard decision.
It's a very hard decision. We can't really conclude it for you. It's got to be down to you, unfortunately. I know that's a bit frustrating, but you could save some money and get an M3, or you could go all out and get a C63. They're just two different beasts, to be fair, but also surprisingly quite closely matched. So whatever car you buy, you're not going to feel cheated, essentially.
No,
they're both fantastic. I think this looks a lot more aggressive, especially from the front. But yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for coming down. It's been fun to go out in your car.
Thanks for taking me out the M3.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked
Scaring
it.
me.
Yeah, it is a bit of a scary car. Right then guys, that is where we are going to end the video. I really hope you enjoyed this comparison between the two cars as much as we have enjoyed filming it. It's been an absolute ride today, and we've used a hell of a lot of fuel.
Yeah, I think
to be expected with a V8 ownership, really. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future upcoming content with the M3 while it's still here, and the Project Z4, and whatever else I can get my hands on. Things like today, like a C63. But anyway, thank you very much once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.